In the quiet coastal town of San Sebastian, Spain, where the waves of the Cantabrian Sea crash against golden beaches and the air carries the scent of salt and pine, a mystery unfolded that would baffle investigators for decades. It was the summer of 1987, a time when the world seemed simpler, yet beneath the surface of this picturesque town lay a story so strange it would become known as one of the world's most perplexing missing person cases. Her name was Elena Marquez, a 28-year-old artist with a radiant smile and a passion for capturing the rugged beauty of the Basque countryside on her canvas. But on July 14, 1987, Elena vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of questions that remain unanswered to this day. Elena was no stranger to the winding paths of Monte Igueldo, a hill overlooking San Sebastian, where she often went to paint. Locals knew her as the quiet woman with the easel, always sketching the lighthouse or the distant waves. She lived alone in a small apartment near the old town, her days filled with art, and her nights spent in the company of her cat, Luna. She had no enemies, no known conflicts, and a life that seemed unremarkable until that fateful day. On July 13th, Elena told her friend Maria that she planned to spend the next morning on Monte Igueldo, working on a new painting inspired by the misty dawn. She promised to meet Maria for coffee at noon, but Elena never showed up. When Maria arrived at the cafe and Elena didn't answer her calls, she grew worried. Elena was punctual, almost obsessively so, and missing a meeting was out of character. Maria decided to visit Elena's apartment, only to find it locked, with Luna meowing hungrily at the door. Inside, everything appeared normal. Her art supplies were neatly arranged, a half-finished painting of the lighthouse sat on her easel, and a cup of cold tea rested on the table. But Elena was gone. Her car was still parked outside, and her wallet, complete with cash and identification, was on the kitchen counter. It was as if she had stepped out for a moment and never returned. The police were called immediately, and an investigation began. Initial searches focused on Monte Igueldo, where Elena had last planned to go. Search parties combed the hill, their voices echoing through the dense forest and rocky outcrops. They found her easel set up near the lighthouse, a fresh canvas clipped to it with a few preliminary brushstrokes of gray and blue. Evidence she had started her work. But there was no sign of a struggle, no footprints leading away, no clues to suggest what had happened. The weather that morning had been calm, with no storms or unusual activity reported. It was as if Elena had simply dissolved into the mist. As days turned into weeks, the case took on an eerie quality. Witnesses came forward with conflicting accounts. An elderly man claimed he saw a woman matching Elena's description, walking toward the cliff edge at dawn, but he couldn't be sure. It was too foggy. A fisherman swore he heard a woman scream from the sea, yet no body was ever found in the water. Another local, a young boy, said he saw a shadowy figure near the lighthouse, but his story was dismissed as a child's imagination. The lack of evidence only deepened the mystery, fueling speculation that ranged from a random abduction to something more supernatural. The police interviewed Elena's friends and family, but no one could provide a motive. She had no romantic entanglements, no debts, and no enemies. Her last known conversation with Maria revealed nothing unusual. Elena had been excited about her painting, mentioning how the light that morning felt almost magical. Investigators began to consider the possibility of a mental breakdown, perhaps a spontaneous decision to leave her life behind. But if that were the case, why leave her cat, her car, and her belongings? The more they dug, the less sense it made. Months passed and the case grew cold. The media picked up the story, dubbing it The Vanishing of Monte Igueldo, and it spread beyond Spain, captivating true crime enthusiasts worldwide. Theories multiplied. Some believed Elena had been taken by a passing stranger, her body hidden in the dense forest. Others suggested she might have fallen into a hidden crevice on the cliff, her remains lost forever. The most outlandish theory came from a local historian who claimed the hill was cursed, pointing to old Basque legends of spirits luring people into the mist. Despite extensive searches with dogs and helicopters, no trace of Elena was ever found. Then, in 1992, a breakthrough, or what seemed like one, occurred. A hiker discovered a small leather sketchbook near the lighthouse, its pages water-damaged but still legible. The sketches inside were unmistakably Elena's, delicate drawings of the coastline, the lighthouse, and a strange, shadowy figure that appeared in several images. The final page contained a hurried note. "They're watching. I can't stay." The handwriting matched Elena's. sending a shiver through the investigators. Was this a cry for help, or the ramblings of a mind unraveling? The sketchbook reignited interest, but it also raised more questions. Who were they? And why had she felt the need to flee? The case took another turn in 2005 when a retired policeman, Javier Lopez, came forward with a confession. He claimed that during the initial investigation, he and his partner had found a piece of Elena's scarf caught on a bush near the cliff edge. They had reported it, but the evidence was mysteriously lost before it could be processed. Lopez insisted it was an accident, a clerical error, but his guilt had haunted him for years. The revelation sparked outrage, and a new search was launched. Divers scoured the sea below the cliff, and geologists mapped the area for hidden caves. Yet, once again, nothing was found. The lost scarf became another layer of the enigma, a tantalizing clue that slipped through their fingers. As the years rolled on, Elena's disappearance became a local legend. The lighthouse on Monte Igueldo, once a beacon of safety, was now whispered to be haunted by her spirit. Tourists began visiting the site, some leaving flowers or sketches in her memory. Maria, Elena's friend, never gave up hope. She funded a small memorial plaque near the easel spot, inscribed with the words, "To Elena, lost but never forgotten." Every July 14th, she returned to the hill, lighting a candle and speaking to the wind as if Elena might hear her. In 2019, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A marine biologist, studying the underwater currents off San Sebastian, found a sealed metal box tangled in seaweed near the cliff base. Inside was a collection of old photographs, a locket with Elena's initials, and a journal entry dated July 14, 1987. The entry read, "The light pulled me. I saw them, figures in the mist. I had to follow. Forgive me." The handwriting was Elena's, and the locket contained a faded picture of her with Luna. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, suggesting Elena might have walked into the sea willingly, drawn by some hallucination or force. Experts debated the findings. Some argued it was evidence of a mental health crisis, perhaps triggered by isolation or stress. Others pointed to the figures in the mist, reviving the supernatural theory tied to Basque folklore. The journal's cryptic nature left room for interpretation, but it also closed some doors. There was no sign of foul play, no indication of a struggle. Had Elena been lured by her own mind, or by something beyond understanding? The box's location, carried by currents, hinted she might have entered the water, but her body's absence remained a puzzle. Today, the case of Elena Marquez remains unsolved. The lighthouse still stands, its beam cutting through the fog each night, a silent witness to her disappearance. Locals and visitors alike share stories of seeing a woman's figure near the cliff, her easel glowing faintly in the dawn. Whether it's a ghost, a memory, or a trick of the light, no one knows. Maria believes Elena found peace somewhere beyond the mist, her art living on in the sketches she left behind. The mystery endures, a testament to the strange and unexplained corners of our world. What happened to Elena Marquez? Was it a tragic accident, a mental unraveling, or something more otherworldly? The truth may never be uncovered, but her story continues to captivate those who hear it. If this tale of mystery intrigued you, like the video, share it with others, and let us know in the comments, what's the strangest unsolved case you've ever heard of? Maybe together we can piece together the puzzle of the past.